What's going on, guys? Friday morning live stream. Your host, Andy Kaysen here, back on the football card quest with you guys to go over all the major takeaways from last night's game. Plus, we're going to look at the mailbag, guys. I've got some really good questions from you guys throughout this week. I want to address on stream, including looking at some of the values of these Leaf Flash autograph cards, some rare stuff. See if that's viable. I want to talk about this a little bit because this is important, especially when we're talking about this year's rookies, next year's rookies, plus some of the hot rookies from the last few years. And then also want to address a couple questions here that I've got in the mailbag, kind of going through right now, talking about card popularity, where to find that kind of information out. Plus, if you've got any live questions in the chat, plus I want to talk about some of the teams in the NFL that have underperformed to this point that could potentially now go out and overperform for the rest of the season, kind of make that final playoff push, or teams that have overperformed through the first half of the season that are now going to underperform and their values are going to fall, because we're really kind of in that critical juncture right now, right in the middle of the season. So lot to get to this morning. I hope you guys are well. Let's go ahead and dig into this right now. Hey, what's going on, Orlando? How you doing? Good morning, Ryan. Good morning. What's up? Keith Perry, you finally caught me live, man. Congrats, brother. Happy Friday morning to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the game last night because it was pretty close for the first half, but the Eagles finally pulled away in this game. The offensive spotlight was on Dallas Goedert, man. Dallas Goedert put together an exceptional performance, and 8 of his 9 targets for 100 yards, a touchdown, and 7 first downs en route to a 90-plus PFF receiving grade and a game-high 4 yards per route run on first review. Super elite. On the other end, you had the rookie Dameon Pierce getting back to his high caliber of play after one down week. I mean, this guy is a standout rookie running back. His power, his balance enabled him to gobble up 139 rushing yards from 27 carries. So, guys, the first order of business, right? And we'll look at some of my favorite ones this weekend. But if you were following along on Tuesday night's live stream with Steve the Hitman and I, then you would have put in this slip right here. Well, actually, it was this slip right here of 3 picks over on underdogfantasy.com, and you would have made whatever money you put in. You know, promo code Quest gets you that 100% instant deposit bonus. We put in this slip right here on the live stream. We hit every single one of them. I also put this slip of 4 picks in last night and shared it in the Discord before the game. We also hit on that one. So we are up big time right now at underdogfantasy.com. And of course, instant 100% deposit bonus up to $100 with promo code Quest. Hard to beat that. Really hard to beat that. Look at the sold values of Dallas Goedert here on eBay. A few nice sales popping off this morning. Those rookie ticket autos from 2018 are super popular. Going to be one of his, primary cards. That and the optic for Dallas Goedert 2018 going to be very nice as well. See some nice sold transactions. Including this one here, non-autograph, numbered out of 100. So it gives you an idea right off the bat on what the popular cards are for 2018. And you can see the Prism. My only beef with a Prism like this, the color match is going to go a long way for this card, but 2018 was one of those years where they did not put an RC logo on the card when they go to the autograph. And even some sets, like I've noticed Select did it on a few of their autograph inserts this year, they take the RC shield off of the card when they put the autograph on the card, which I think just kind of confuses things a little bit, right? It doesn't make it easy for people to recognize that that's a true rookie card. They have to go look on the back. They have to understand when the player was drafted. It's still a gorgeous card. I love the Pulsar finish, and it's got the prism quality and everything. So, yeah, still a nice card. Color match the Eagles, but missing that RC shield. So not quite as liquid or popular or is going to see the same resale value spikes as the rookie ticket auto. You can see a lot of those sold transactions on the rookie ticket auto there. And Dallas Goedert's going to continue to climb my hype index. I've been talking about him a few times. Every time we pull up the tight end hype index, he's an incredible receiver. Now the Philadelphia Eagles 8-0, continuing that march down the season here to go undefeated. I really like their upcoming schedule as well. And just one more notch in their belt, man. They could easily go undefeated here. So, yeah, you could see the spike in buy now. And of course, tight ends aren't going to garner as much demand, even as I would say a running back or a wide receiver or a quarterback, unless your name is Travis Kelce. Mark Andrews got a lot of steam lately, but Dallas Goedert's right there, guys. Dallas Goedert is right there. On the other side, Dameon Pierce is a rookie. He may be on the 1 in what are they? 1-8 now? No, 1-6-1. That's right. They tied the Colts in week 1. So they're 1-6-1, Houston Texans. Last place, obviously, AFC South. But, Dameon Pierce, because he's a rookie, because he has shown this incredible explosive athletic ability, you've seen a lot of demand for his cards, right? Like right off the bat, here's a luminance blue ink parallel. Also, the Florida Gators are a big school. And a lot of people pointed out that he did not get the run. He did not get a ton of carries and opportunities at Florida because the rotation there and the need, or I guess the perceived need that the coaching staff in Florida needed to give all of their athletes like a rotation, basically. So, but there are some viral highlights of Dameon Pierce from University of Florida and some of the plays he made there, including one run where he broke several tackles, got his helmet ripped off, kept running, scored the touchdown. So, yeah, he's got a lot of demand for his cards in College Gator uniforms. This is a nice little sale right there from Luminance. Also, you can see the Touchdown Kings, and we're going to talk about the Leaf Flash in just a minute here on Mr. Jalen Hurts. So, shout out to Orlando in the chat, El Directa. And we're gonna look at a card that he's potentially looking at there and talk about Leaf Flash and how I go about assessing if it's at a good value and when it makes sense to buy and invest in one of those cards. So let me shout out to Chad Dyer in the chat. What's good? Woodband, what's good, man? Good morning, Damian R. Dude's balance is the most elite trait, I think. Yeah, man, it's incredible. It is incredible. So let's look at this. Look at this sale right here. $275 Immaculate Collegiate RPA out of 15. Fantastic sales. Got 4 colors in the patch, but, the patch is not from any game or event. So really what you're looking for here is just to get some nice color match, right? I mean, if this card was just all white plain patch, you're not going to get the same resale value as if with all these colors in it. And of course, you got an on-card rookie auto. You got the RC Shield here. And Immaculate is one of the most recognized and popular brands in the hobby. They're known for these nice kind of swirl and curved designs and lines throughout the cards. So yeah, you can see that even though he's on the Texans and even though they are 1-6-1, that this card is still selling for $275. Compare that to an Immaculate Collegiate Collection card for, let's say, like Derrick Henry or Alvin Kamara. Any of these guys from 2016, 2017, 2018, it's still not going to go for this much just because maybe Derrick Henry because he he's in that Alabama uniform. But, as more product comes out for this guy, as you have the Pro National Treasures, the Pro Immaculate, the Pro Prism, Optic Select, all that kind of good stuff, this is going to kind of fall. It's just going to fall in demand, fall in desirability. Plus, think about it. By that point, it'd just be so many more cards out. But you can see the certified, very popular. People are spending a premium on those cards as well. Here's a score. Blue Artist Proof. I even know this should have a serial number. The person didn't mention a serial number in the auction there, but yeah, it is serial numbered out of 35 with a sticker auto. But it is score, right? I mean, it's still a thin paper cardstock card that's gonna have some edge and corner issues, most likely, unfortunately, just based on the cardstock that they print those cards on. But they do, like these ones with the foil finish and a little silver finish in the middle, they do look good. And I think the design is very clean, very simplistic this year. I like it. I don't like the cards necessarily when they have these lines that are going all the way to the edge. I like the look of this score right here. And I have seen it be pretty popular so far this year. You just got to be real careful looking at those, try and do a really good job of examining those corners and front and back to look for any whitening. But this one ended for 78.70, so very solid transaction there as well. And you can see the volume for Dameon Pierce right now really high as well. So here's the card that the card that El Director wanted me to look at here. We've got a eBay 101. Wow, don't fall for that, because you know that's just at any given time, any card could be an eBay 101 if it's the only one listed on there. So don't put any stock into the eBay 101, but this does look to be an on-card autograph. The autograph is pretty clean. You know, Jalen Hurts' college story is very interesting with the whole dynamic and the relationship with Tua. And how, you know, he got pulled for Tua in the first national championship, and then Tua got hurt in the next one, and Jalen Hurts had to step in and made some clutch plays, and they were able to secure that one. And then Jalen Hurts ultimately transferred for a starting opportunity. So yeah, it's a really interesting story, and Jalen Hurts ultimately is now on top of his game, man, in the NFL, and throwing the ball really well as well. It's taken big steps forward this year in his passing accuracy. So man, that team is just so complete top to bottom. And yeah, this card is very relevant because his college story is very like famous. You know, it's very well known. So this card here is numbered 1 out of 35. The condition looks good. Corners, edges. I like the chrome sparkle finish here you got on it. The scarcity. I think the price point is solid, but ultimately what I would do, and this is my process here, is to actually go and look at what the Tua cards of the same scarcity or similar scarcity are selling for as well. So we can come over here and find the Tua cards. And so if you're kind of looking at it, it would be something similar to this right here. And you can see, yeah, they are pretty rare. Like these transactions quickly go back to August, go back to preseason hype. But that'll still give us an idea, because obviously Tua has had higher prices coming into the season than he does now. He's now finally healthy after the scary concussion saga and everything. And so he is climbing the hype index again, and I'm seeing those prices go back up. We'll pop over to the Keep 'em web app here in just a second and look at some market trends, market intel for his graded cards and stuff. But the first thing I do is come and look at what these other guys. So right here, I'm seeing, yeah, this is about a 50, and it's not confirmed whether or not this one's serial numbered out of 35. So let me see if I can find out for you real quick here. But this looks to be pretty much the same card. However, this one does not have a serial number. So we have to look and try and find one with a serial number, which can be difficult, especially because it's out of 35. Ultimately, just trying to find like a range that I think this card could go up to give you the most like educated guess that I can, because it's all about supply and demand and what people perceive as popular. So the good thing I like about it is the rookie autograph and the serial number. But so ultimately, like, I think you're getting fair market value. I'm not convinced that it's got a ton of upside yet. The other guy I would look at obviously is Justin Herbert. Leaf Flash Auto, Justin Herbert. See what we can find there. Go down to the sold items. All right. Let's see. There's one 15, 23 out of 35, PSA 9 with 10 auto, 369. And Herbert's market is It's fairly down right now, so that's a decent example looking at the PSA 9 there. I do feel like this card should have some upside. You know, I feel confident just based on the autograph, right? If the Eagles really take it to the house and make it to a championship, maybe an NFC championship game at the least. I mean, they do look like obviously they're the best team in the NFC based on record, but if you were to visualize them playing the Cowboys right now in the NFC playoffs. I mean, obviously they're going to beat the Bucks, they're going to beat the Rams. The 49ers would be a good that would be a good game to watch them play. I mean, obviously you got to think they're going to beat the Packers. Maybe the Vikings give them a little bit of a fight. Like that would be a fun game to envision. The Eagles versus the Vikings. Um, any other team in the NFC North, they've easily got their number. Any other team in the NFC East, like the Giants, speaking about one of those teams that have like overperformed through the first half of the season that I think could come back to a 500 record. The Giants easily fall into that category just based on how they virtually won every single one of their games, like by under 8 points. Maybe the Seahawks give them a little bit of a run for their money, but the Seahawks defense is so bad and the Eagles defense is so good. You have just a big disparity there. So I do feel that this card has some nice upside. Like nobody's going to give them a run for their money in the NFC South. Like I could see some challenges out of the NFC West. The Bucks have a long way to go to be competitive against the Eagles, but you never know. Tom Brady could like snap out of their funk and pull things together. So ultimately, I think what I'm leaning towards is at 150, this card does have some upside. Yeah, I think it's got some upside, man. I really like the serial number, and I still think there's a lot of room for Jalen Hurts stock. I'm gonna go do our compare real quick and see what we've got here. But I think there's definitely some upside here. Let's check this out over on the Keep 'em Web. So one person asked me, Nathan Swart out yesterday on the YouTube channel. Where do you go, or where can you go to find a particular player's most popular card sold or bought? He's getting into Justin Fields cards and would like to know what are his most popular cards so I can invest and collect accordingly. So the easiest thing for me to do, obviously, right, is understand the common denominators that make cards popular outside of just like looking at this. So we'll talk about the common denominators for after just a second looking at this. But one thing I want to point out is that our Keep 'em Football Card Prices web app that you guys, if you don't have access to it already, can get access to it over at patreon.com/football cards. Check it out in the description. Check it out after you're done with this live stream. Make sure you hit the like button on this live stream too if you're enjoying our content. Yeah, this easily sorts by total sales. So in terms of popularity, and this could be for a variety of reasons, right? Availability on eBay, conditions. So we're looking at PSA 10 here. Also, in terms of listing, like the print run of this specific card is fairly high. This is a base card. It's also understand that Prism is the most popular, like mainstream set, them in optics. So between Prism and the rated rookie logos, those are going to be your most popular cards, most highly liquid cards that sell the most in and out of the market on a monthly basis. So we can go and look at the 1 month trend. We had 94 sales on this card in the past month, population of 1,741. And so whenever I compare this to the other draft class, so another nice little tool here I've got is the little compare. I've got some reports saved. I can come in here and quickly compare that PSA 10 base Prism to Tua and Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Look at their population counts, the differences there. See that Jalen Hurts has a population count of like less than half of what Burrow and Herbert have. So right off the bat, I can look at that and say, okay, that blue and green line, Hurts here, the purple, like these lines are likely to intersect. Obviously the Chargers are hurting right now for wide receiver depth. This is a big weekend for Josh Palmer. He's fully cleared concussion protocols. You're likely to have no Keenan Allen after coming off their bye week. Keenan Allen hasn't practiced all week, so that's not a good sign for him to suit up. Like he must have had a really bad hamstring injury. Mike Williams is on IR, so now you're looking at Josh Palmer, DeAndre Carter, Gerald Everett, the tight end there, is another interesting option this weekend. I mean, they're playing the Atlanta Falcons. Austin Eckler also has some kind of issue going on. I saw the tweet. He just popped up on the injury report. I think it was what was it? Not his hamstring. I don't think it was hamstring. Austin Eckler had surgical repair on his hamstring. What was it, last year or the beginning of before last offseason? And so he stated that it was never going to be the same. And so they added depth. Obviously, he hasn't been healthy all year, and Isaiah Spiller, so the rookie there, has not been healthy all year. They added Sony Michel, so they've added running back depth behind Austin Eckler because he's been the focal point of their offense. They really have not allowed Justin Herbert to throw the ball deep at all, and they've struggled, man. They're now out Joey Bosa, J.C. Jackson. The defense has not lived up to expectations. If I were to go and look at Justin Herbert's advanced analytics, you can see the down trends in most of his cards besides this Donruss base, which is really just a small increase, and it's probably still down over the course of the year. Yeah, pull up the year chart and then go look at that from the beginning of the season. And then as he falls down the hype index, you can see that kind of directly correlated. Now this November 4th transaction for 125. See, that's the power of a buy it now, guys. If somebody gets froggy and they want to go and grab them a card, you got that card there ready for them to do that. That's the benefit of having it listed and buy it now for a little bit higher. That one's got an autograph, so you rule that one out. You report that one as the wrong card, and that's some of the variants. Obviously, it's hard to filter that out because of it's not a card that comes with the autograph, right? It's the base Donruss, but with a event signed autograph there, adding about $300 to the value of that card. So, but that's the power of a buy it now. And obviously, they're in a smash spot going up against the Atlanta Falcons this weekend. But like I said, pulled up Justin Herbert's advanced stats, in terms of deep ball attempts, 26, 3.7 passes per game. That's 14th. However, he is still ranks third in total pass attempts at 308 and second in pace of play. So they're still playing aggressive. They're still playing fast. He's still number one in money throws. He's also taken a lot of pressure. He's thrown a ton of pressure throws. He also ranks second right now in the league in pressured completion percentage and third in play action completion percentage, which is great. So, I'm still targeting guys on that roster. Josh Palmer has not exceeded expectations, but he's continued to get more opportunities. This week is going to be a big opportunity for him. So, he's definitely a guy to look at investing in. I wouldn't spend any serious dime on him because he just really has not looked like anything special. And he doesn't have the draft capital that's kind of, dictates that he should be an elite talent. So, he was a third round draft pick, like not super late, but also not first round draft talent. Didn't put up massive numbers in college, but put up some pretty good highlights. And if you can get like rookie ticket autos, autograph cards for around, something that rare, 23 out of 25 for a guy like this, I would be trying to get that for like $30, $30 or under. Something like this where it's a rookie ticket auto optic, maybe, yeah, it's a base variation. I would be trying to get this for under 20. Would not want to pay over 20 for this card. If I could get it under 20, then I feel good about the buy it now, like flip upside of it. Flawless, on the other hand, you feel a little bit more comfortable paying up to like 60, 70, maybe up to 80 for the card, depending on what the kind of assets it has. This one looks really good, 12 out of 20 here. I like this card a lot. And currently, super, super low ending tomorrow night. So one to keep your eye on right there. Like that could be a nice flip. I mean, he's got to have the big breakout game. Start throwing it to him deeper, and maybe he doesn't. But that's why I say don't spend any serious coin like this right here. This is overvalued. 19 out of 35. Spectra is not one of the hottest brands. Don't necessarily have a lot of great color match. Patch is not from any games. So $90. That's like you totally took a lot of the wind out of the sails on that one there. Let's go through a little bit of market intel right now in terms of most sold graded cards in the last 30 days. You can obviously see it's Josh Allen's base Donruss. That's now up to $345, and that's in an auction last night. Whew, son. That's pretty impressive, man. He's getting up to close to all-time highs. You can see where he was in the playoffs last year, where they got knocked out by the Chiefs in that miraculous divisional playoff game there. $330. So we're there. We're there, guys. We're back there for Josh Allen and climbing. He's a front runner for MVP. If we go to the market tab and look at which cards have gone up the most in buy it now volume, it's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow right now is up 50% week over week buy it now volume. So you got to think about that. The timing of that from last Friday till now must have been like last weekend and leading into Monday night. A lot of people were buying, which is interesting because the news about Jamar Chase, the injury, was released, I think, around this time last week. So that's interesting. Jalen Hurts is right there behind him, second place, and then Herbert, and then it should be Tua. It's actually Justin Fields. Look at that, 94% increase in Justin Fields sold volume. Justin Fields actually having a pretty good run as of late. He put up some pretty impressive, statistics against the Cowboys, who, we didn't expect him to win, but I mean, still threw the ball more than he did the first 5 weeks of the season, and still getting those rushing yards. So that's been the big difference in Justin Fields lately, is the rushing performance. Still put up 60 rushing yards, a touchdown, was able to put up 26 fantasy points. So you see the direct correlation there. It's just not like, the Bears are winning games. I mean, they got one win against the Patriots, but the Bears have a massive fan base. They're scrappy, man. They're fighting. They're trying to hang in there. Even though their front office continuing like trading away key assets, no more Roquan Smith, no more Robert Quinn. That's two critical key components of their defense. So that's big, man. So we come over here to look at Justin Fields. So now it's like, all right, what's your budget? If you've only got $50 to $100, it makes a lot of sense to buy a PSA 10 or an SGC 10 or BGS 9.5 of one of his base premium cards, whether it's rated rookie, whether it's the base prism, or you're maybe looking at an optic or the press proof premium from base Donruss there. That was that secondary retail set they released. This will give you a really good idea of what his most premium base cards are. Now, I will say that something that offers even more upside, especially with 2021 product, with how much supply there is in the market, is autographs, right? Rookie autographs are the number one power up for a sports card in the market today. And then outside of that, it's the serial number, indicating clear scarcity. And I had this other questions like, why do some non-serial number cards sell better than serial number cards? And well, that depends on the demand of that card. So like a Kaboom, for example, is going to perform better than a lot of serial number cards, or a Downtown, or a rookie kings, like some of these case hits, or you know, yeah, what it comes down to is really the case hits and some of the short print inserts. Like if they're color matched and they have the RC shield and they've got this autograph, and they've got some really nice design appeal to it, then you're gonna have like higher resale value in that card than potentially a lot of serial numbered cards even. So one thing you could do is just look at the sold items on eBay, and you could sort it by a variety of ways, right? If you wanted to see what's got the highest resale value to give yourself an idea of what's most valuable, is clearly going to be your one of ones, your autograph cards that are from National Treasures, flawless. There's a white sparkle downtown. There's a zebra print card. That's a case hit. So non-serial number, but still everybody knows it's a case hit. When you see that white zebra print card, it's a case hit. You know that the print run is going to be super low, probably 50 or less. It's got a lot of scarcity. It's also very popular. So like the Kabooms, the Marvels, the Downtowns, those are very popular designs, and 95% of the hobby knows that those are incredibly rare and they're desirable cards. Generally speaking, though, if you're trying to broaden your horizons, you just want to look for like the key common denominators, such as the rookie autograph, the color match appeal to it, understanding that brands like Prism, Optic, Select, and then Mosaic, and higher end brands like National Treasures and Flawless and Immaculate and Contenders, will garner a higher resale value because they have a higher demand, therefore a lower supply, and therefore you can routinely pretty much convince people, not directly, but just they'll do it on their own. They'll do their own convincing to pay a higher retail price for a card like that when they find it on eBay in a buy it now situation. So there's some interesting data for you guys to chew on there. Perp faded early access. Yeah, good deal, Woodband, man. We'd love to have you in. We've got 3 different price tiers between 6, 12, and 20 that each have slightly different benefits. It's actually 11/4. A couple days late doing my monthly giveaway. So if you get in like today, you'll still get an entry into that giveaway where we spin the wheel and we do a giveaway. I've got some really cool stuff. I've just been waiting for some sealed product to come in the mail, and we'll be there. Yo, what's good, Derek Richard, the Giraffe Capital Man of the North. Woodband said, one issue I've been having lately is undelivered plain white envelope. eBay offers tracking, but it doesn't always work. Any tips on just plain white envelope delivery? One tip I'll say, and some postal workers say this helps, other ones don't. And some people that I talk to say this works, other ones don't, is on the back of the envelope. See if I had an envelope right here around me. I don't, but on the back of the envelope, right on there, please scan, because there is a little QR code that the postal worker can scan on the front that will log that tracking. But a lot of times they don't do it because it's an envelope. They throw it right in their sorting machine, and most envelopes don't come with the QR code that says to scan, so they don't register tracking. Or most plain white envelopes don't come with tracking like the eBay plain white envelope offers. So please scan could help with some postal workers, could not help. And then non-machinable is another thing to write on the back of there to kind of help that card get to where it goes. But it does happen. I've had it happen a couple times. And that's why it's super important to never ship any card worth more than $20 in a plain white envelope. Just go ahead, and whether you eat it or you have the buyer pay for it in a flat fee, use the bubble mailer with the $3 or $3.85 or whatever it is. Typically it's around $3.50 to $4.15. That USPS first class package with tracking and the bubble mailer. Toa, what's good, man? Woodband, PWEs have not been reliable tracking. Will say delivered when it's still being delivered. Ask the customer to go give another week. I always do that as well. I always send a message like, "Look, give it a few more days. Go through your mail very carefully." Because the other thing I've done is like because it's an envelope, like I've had it put in between like flyers, political ads, and stuff like that. And if you're not careful, that could easily go out in the trash. So that is something I've almost done. I've like dropped like what I thought was junk mail in the trash, and then all of a sudden I see the eBay plain white envelope in there. I'm like, oh crap, man! I almost threw away one of my cards. So Sonny, what's going on? Sonny, a big quarterback collector investor in the house. Jalen Hurts, kaboom, has been going up. Any thoughts? Good investment. Yeah, I want to look at let's look at the Jalen Hurts kaboom. Beautiful card, man. I would love to get me a kaboom one of these days. That's like a grail card that I want to work up to. Boom. See what we got. See what we got. Jalen Hurts. There we go. Share. All right, so I found his graded kabooms. Obviously, we know these are case hits, very low pop. You see a pop of 7, a pop of 7 on Jalen Hurts base kaboom here. PSA 10, PSA 9 pop of 20. So fairly low gem rate. If you were to like take all that were graded in consideration, 27 were graded, 20 came back 9s, only 7 came back 10s. So that's about lower than that's slightly lower than a 30% PSA 10 gem rate. But yeah, look at the auction Sunday, October 30th, ended 9:30 for 4,550. Tuesday, November 1st, and this is a PSA 10, so only 2 sales in the past month. Go back to past year, only 4 sales. But I like looking at this because look, go back to March 27th before the draft, so before AJ Brown time period, and this one's a different variation too. That's a slightly different variation, so that's important to note there. It looks like it's even a more rare variation, though. I guess if I was just going off of this, so I have to go look up on eBay. But just go looking at this. I mean, this was before the season 2,600. Now we're looking at 4,500, 3,900, and I buy it now on Tuesday at 8 a.m. And Jalen Hurts stock is going to keep going up, guys. I mean, there's just no way around that, and it's just a matter of time. I mean, but you got to think about how much supply there was for 2020 Joe Burrow before it finally started moving the needle. It took the playoff, the Super Bowl, and this is a different situation because we're literally talking about an undefeated season here, and definitely front runner next to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes for MVP at this point, right? He's going to be up in the top 3 according to Vegas. So look at 2020 kaboom, Jalen Hurts. A lot of what I've been doing now is comparing this guy against the other 3 guys in the draft class, try and paint that picture. PSA 9 here for 2150. So I come back to our kaboom chart. Where we go? Where's our kaboom chart? Man, look at that field levels zebra print 4,500. A lot of cards on here for Jalen Hurts. He's seeing so much sold volume lately. So much sold volume. I probably scrolled past the kaboom. Let's see. It's probably up here a little ways. Let me go back up. There it is. All right. All right, so let's see. And that was okay. So yeah, that is the base variation. That other one then is going to be the short print, PSA 10. So watch that one, see when that one ends for. But PSA 8, PSA 9, 9. I don't know. I feel like some of these cards, like especially the new listings, I think you've got a good opportunity to potentially come in here and make a lowball offer, Sonny. Because a card of this dollar value, someone is likely to get an offer. If I show up with $1,000, $1,500 cash, it's going to be hard for them to resist, man. Take that cash, walk away from that card, right? Especially if they've held it for any length of time. I do think that that could present some nice value. It's one of the most popular, like super rare high end cards, kabooms, and maybe you get that for a G. I'd stay away from sevens, eights on this card. Yeah, so they're advertising that one as the very rare variation. Man, check that one out. Somebody got it autographed. So I think around $1,000. Whoa, this is not okay. That's a second year. Even veteran though, that's interesting. You might have just found something here, Sonny, that you like, man. Ending in 2 minutes. Even a veteran card, at just a fifth of what the rookie one is selling for, I think just the kaboom factor of it alone should garner a higher resale value than this. Like I would go and look at what 2021 kaboom and sort by football and sort by sold and look at what is highest and kind of go from there. Like, okay, a gold out of 10, PSA 9, but I mean, clearly that went for over $5,000 without even just kind of having to look it up. And if we go down closer to this price range, there's a rookie, there's a Tom Brady, of course, is Brady. So hard to do a comparison there. There's the Fields. There's a Joe Burrow 9 that went for well over $1,000. Like in a PSA 9, and this one you technically have the potential of getting a 10 on this. Like actually, I think this is a snipe right here for you, ending in just a minute. If you guys have got the bankroll, just like quick analysis, all of them have that what appears to be a print line at the top. That is just a part of kaboom. That's on every single kaboom. Really like the upside in that card right there. I'm curious even to do a 2020 kaboom Jalen Hurts. A card like this, I mean, very, very applicable to search out a veteran cards because kabooms are kabooms. Like November 3rd, like buy it now. That's already sold for. So we're already finding PSA 9, 600 or best offer. I mean, that's a total snipe, Sonny. Get on that, brother. Get on that. Total snipe, guys. Let's see what it jumps up to. Oh, dude, I hope you got that, Sonny. That's an instant flip. That's an instant flip of a couple $100 profit. Somebody just got that for $340. This is what makes me feel good about doing this, man. Being able to show, because look at that. I mean, look at the sold. Look at that. There's one right there that just sold for $520 November 1st, but it's all about timing. Like you don't end auctions on Friday morning at 11 a.m. That's not a good idea if you're a seller. Now, if you're a buyer, those are the ones you want to target, because you could see clearly this card has got $500-$600 potential, Yes, absolutely, Sonny. Eric, what's my thoughts on limited RPAs? Does the on-card auto on those make it worth it? So I would say at the right price point, Eric. So I would want an example here because different years of limited have a different appeal. The 2021 limited, I will say, looks very good. It's probably the best set of limited I've ever seen. So if I was looking at 2021 limited auto cards and trying to figure out where I wanted to get in at. Yeah, I mean, so like skill position player on a card like that, if I'm looking at it, skill position player and it's an RPA, let's say, and it's got two colors to the patch. So you got a little bit of variety there in the colors, which has a little bit more appeal. We've got probably a sticker auto on most limiteds. And I think if you can get that for around that $20 price point, sometimes those will go even lower. Now, all of a sudden, depending on the serial number it comes with, maybe it's out of 99 or 149. That's a card that you can easily turn around, listen to buy it now that you see someone will pay $40, $50 on it, depending on the performance spike that the player generates. Will AJ Brown, Brandon, what's good, man? AJ Brown go up during the playoffs like Cooper Cup, or when will Brown's prices start shooting up? Yeah, Brown is a very interesting case study here in the market because there are certain cards of Brown, and granted, like he hasn't gone off every week, like he hasn't gone off in dominance to the extent of Cooper Cup last year. So we have to recognize that there is a clear difference there in just sheer opportunity in terms of targets. And now last week was fantastic. Now last night he also got another touchdown, but I mean even last night, for example, it was Dallas Goedert had a much bigger performance than AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a run of the mill performance with a nice little touchdown and putting up about 15, 20 fantasy points. So if I look at the box score or his exact line, yeah, 15.9 fantasy point, 4 for 59. But Dallas Goedert had the big night, right? If I were to look at AJ Brown's stats, yeah, week 8 he was number 1 wide receiver, but week 6 he was 11. Week 5 he was number 67 with only 3 catches for 32 yards. That was that weird Arizona game. Week 4 against Jacksonville, he was number 22. So what happened was you saw him spike in week 1 with 155 yards, and he was number 7 receiver. And then he dips down to number 39 in week 2. Didn't have a big game, just 5 for 69, no touchdowns. And then week 3 got 1 touchdown, but still only 5 for 85. So wide receiver 13. And what you're seeing in here is a kind of weekly fluctuation in that of AJ Brown. So whereas I am seeing like there's a 30% increase in his base Prism PSA 10, but let's go back and look at that over the full year. Has it really gone up? Yeah, okay, January is $80 transaction there. Playoff time period, he was making a push there for the Titans. And then April, look at the spike in April. You can see the spike up to $71, $75 May 1st. That was draft. That was when he was traded to the Eagles, pop of 953. And we go throughout the year here, October, you can see his little performance. So there's those 2 weeks where he was like wide receiver 50, wide receiver 67 against Arizona. Now he's trending back up. He had a monster game last week, gets a touchdown again last night. Solid game, $59. Buy it now, $79.95. There you go. So last night, nice little buy it now of $80. So how much do we want his cards to go up? We want him to go up like Cooper Cup. Well, we need him to really seize. We need him to really get those high quality targets from Jalen Hurts every week. We can't necessarily have this 1 week he goes to Dallas Goedert, 1 week it's Devonta Smith, 1 week it's AJ Brown, 1 week it's just Jalen Hurts on his legs, and yeah, I mean, he's an incredible generational talent athlete, but a lot of times what we see happen whenever this quarterback has these amount of options and they spread the ball around a lot, his cards are desirable. You can see a 30% increase in that Prism. You see some nice buy it now volume, but for it to really go up to what Cooper Cup did, like we need Jalen Hurts to like latch on to AJ Brown like Matt Stafford did with Cooper Cup and just feed him double-digit targets every week. And we know AJ Brown can take advantage of that, but he's not getting double-digit targets every week for those reasons that we just outlined. So that's kind of what's holding his cards back. Now in the playoffs, like this is when the situation changes because now you have a consolidated focus. If we get one of those games in the playoffs like they had last week against the Steelers, watch out, guys. Watch out. You're going to see a massive price spike. You'll see a price spike like you saw in Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis had such a quiet year all year long. Had these little spike games here and there, kind of like what he's doing this year, right? Has these little spike games here and there, but he's not the main guy there. It's Stephon Diggs. In Philly, it's a little bit different because they spread the ball around a little bit more. They're a little bit more pass to run balanced. And so, but in the playoffs, if AJ Brown has one of those Gabe Davis spike games, I mean, dude, his values are going to go up big time. I mean, you see a lot of sold volume. It's just a matter of like, I get it. You really wanted to take that Cooper Kupp leap, and it's gonna take him getting force fed those double-digit targets every week, or it's gonna take a monster spike game in the playoffs. Absolutely could see it, but his prices are already they're elevated. They're not like super high, but they're definitely elevated. Like, I don't know, about $100 for a select auto out of 75. That's elevated, bro. That's really elevated. When you look at the bottom of that card, I mean, that could be a $10 to $15 card. Even go and compare, like a good comparison to do would be to compare AJ Brown to Terry McLaurin. So two great athletes, but one's in a great situation and one is in a very questionable situation. Although Taylor Heineke is much better for Terry McLaurin than Carson Wentz, and you also have Jahan Dotson injured there still, so that's also leading to Heineke. But Heineke literally has latched on to McLaurin, so expect another big McLaurin week this weekend. I'm starting McLaurin in a lot of places in fantasy football, and I'll be betting the over on Terry McLaurin's prop, whatever that is, on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Quest. And Terry McLaurin is one of those guys I still sell. I sold some Terry McLaurin cards the other day, sold a nice autograph card last week, Terry McLaurin. So he's a guy that I also will be targeting this November. Right now, we're in a period where you want to start targeting really good athletes, but in bad situations. So the Detroit Lion guys, the Carolina Panthers guys like DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall, look at Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson on the Commanders. I'm starting to gear up and plan for these guys because they're great athletes. And what's going to happen is they're going to be at a very low price right now because their teams are out of the playoff run. They're just like basically chalking up. It's season's over. So you'll see little tiny price spikes if they have these huge performance games, but otherwise their prices are going to be suppressed because of the team scenario, the team situation. But what you'll see is next free agency, once the Super Bowl ends and we enter that free agency period and then the draft, boom, you're going to see those prices start to climb and spike into the draft. A lot of these teams are going to get a top 10 pick. You've got a really incredible generational quarterback draft class coming up for next year's draft. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Will Levis, and some other guys. So this is gonna have a massive effect on these guys' cards. Makes a lot of sense to target them right now. Tua's got more. I agree with Toa. Tua has more room to go up. Tua's prices, his average resale value on his Prism PSA 10 is about $100. It's climbing back up. Jalen Hurts is already like 150 now to 170. So Tua's got more room to climb, especially with the acquisitions that the Dolphins have made. They're playing really good. They're pushing. They're going to be pushing hard. Their defense just got a lot better too with the addition of Bradley Chubb. So they're going to try and get home on Josh Allen. That's the big challenge there. Can they get home on Josh Allen? Can they beat the Bills? Would you unload a Zach Wilson downtown now or send off for grading then sell? What is an average price? I would tend to sell it now. Sell it now raw. All right, guys, I do have to run today. I got a crazy day. I got a lot of stuff going on here at the house. Stay tuned. I'll interact with you guys in the Discord, and I'll see you guys in that next video. Probably do a little quick like live mail day this weekend, and I will catch up with you guys then. Peace.